Nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Caroline.
Hi, Caroline.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So I hear you guys are engaged?
Yes.
Oh
Yes,
my
we
gosh.
are.
Yeah.
That is the perfect. Would you like to come in and talk to me about
Absolutely.
that?
Yeah.
Okay.
We would love to come in your strange Scooby-Doo van.
Yes. Watch your head.
Awesome. Yes. Thank you
I
so
swear,
much.
I won't drive away with you.
Oh,
I
yeah.
won't, like.
It smells amazing in here.
Oh, maybe it's the tea. So congratulations.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
thank
Yeah.
you.
When did you get engaged?
October 22nd?
22nd. Yeah.
22nd.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
that's amazing.
yeah. Right now, it's just about planning. And,
Yeah. It's totally about planning. I mean, we're kind of, it's been annoying because we're looking for a venue and we're on a budget because,
Right.
you know, economy, world.
Right.
Exactly. And then, so, I mean, I was part of my sister's wedding. I was her maid of honor.
Okay.
There was a lot and it was beautiful and there was like 250 people and it was huge, but it just felt like a lot and it was stressful. And obviously I don't know your experience with marriage.
Two marriages,
Two,
both
great.
ended in
Oh,
divorce.
so you have all the
so,
advice
yeah, I
to
have
give
all
us.
the advice.
Yeah.
I have all the advice.
Yeah, awesome.
I have so much advice on not successful relationships.
Oh, great.
Yes,
Awesome.
all the
Yeah.
advice.
But is there anything that you wish you hadn't done or had done at your wedding or?
At the wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, wedding ones.
The wedding part. Is
Okay,
good.
so
We're trying to survive the wedding.
Yeah, exactly.
well, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Well, two-part. I mean, you know, there's the marriage, which I obviously think is more important. Are
Of
you guys?
course.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
you guys do marriage counseling?
No.
Not yet.
No.
Are you going to? Like
I
you know,
don't
there's
know.
certain
There's-
religions that
yeah,
do
that
that
make
sort
you
of
wanna do that, yeah.
pre-marital thing, and I never was religious that way, so I
Yeah.
never did those things, and I've never really been through them.
Right.
But I do think, actually, looking back on it now, older and not married, that the things that they say that come up, you know, finances, kids, religion,
Right.
your sort of imaginary scenarios of where do you want to live and what would you rather have, cat, dog, you know,
Right,
kidding. But it's really easy in the wedding planning to sort of forget all the things that really made you pick each other in the first place
Oh, totally.
and sort of imagine what is surviving a marriage and what is a marriage really about, which at its core, I guess, is really communication.
Right. Yeah, because we don't want to just survive the marriage. Like, we want to be married. Like, we want to be
Thrive.
partners. And
Like,
yeah, exactly. Like,
yeah.
we want to enjoy our marriage.
Well,
Yeah.
I would recommend exploring those questions, as like difficult as they might be, because I think that's a real thing.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, like the last thing you kind of want to do when you're planning a wedding is ask not romantic questions.
Oh, of course.
You know, which basically is about money and career.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
and those sorts of things.
Well,
They're
that's
not
the
that
thing
fun.
is, like, I've been in a lot of relationships, and he has as well. And I remember the whole, like, kids thing came up actually pretty early on because we were friends for over a year before we even started romantically dating. And I was actually at another wedding in the Bahamas at my best friend's wedding.
You go to a lot of
I
weddings.
do, apparently. But I
Or
was
have a lot of
Yeah,
friends.
that too. But I remember feeling like really emotional and like texting him, and I was like, "Can I ask you like a really important question?" And he was like, "Sure," because I've never been 100% sold on the kids thing. And I was like, if we were to be just like married and not have any children, like, would you be happy with that? And he was just like, you know, the world brought me to you and that's enough. And if we don't have kids, like, that's fine. And if we do, that's fine. But it was just so important that I didn't feel that pressure to like, I need you to produce a baby for me, you know, like that.
Right.
Um,
Well, it's good that you're willing to ask the
Yeah,
questions
yeah.
that feel like they might have hard answers,
Yeah.
you know, or maybe not something you want to hear. So I would encourage you to keep doing that. In terms of the wedding,
Mhm.
I think the biggest advice I have some special moment between the two of you. Either a place that you go, a place, like, I don't know if there's a balcony that looks down on the whole thing. Like, I don't know what your venue ends up being, or you go outside some glass window and you look in on it while you're out. Something that allows you to together kind of really be present in the moment of the day that you're sharing these vows, and because the whole thing is going to be, it's just going to go by in a flash, and, and it becomes a lot about, have we said hi to every table?
Right.
And, you know, did we throw the bouquet or whatever? And it's, I guess it's great to get to do that once, but the day is not the marriage.
Exactly. It just feels so strange that there's like all this planning revolving around one single day and like all this money, and we're like, we've had the thought, we're like, should we just throw this away and just go on a honeymoon, because then that's just about us, you know what I mean? But at the same time, we want to include everyone, you know, in our love and our day, and like,
I think that's a legit thing, especially in this economy, and especially you guys being young. Like, is it the right thing to spend a bunch of money on that? Like, is that important to you?
Yeah.
One thing that you might want to think about, and I think the reason is maybe why, I don't know that you have to still spend a ton of money, but I believe that you maybe you want to ask your guests to like be witness to the marriage, so that like it isn't just arriving at a party and celebrating.
Right.
They're making a commitment to help you with your marriage, to help you stay married. That like by being there, they're kind of committed to the good times and the bad times.
Right.
Like, if I were ever going to get married again, what I would want out of a girlfriend who came to the wedding, I would want her to be the kind of person that if I was having a bad time over something, even something as big as like infidelity or something, I would want to go to that girlfriend, and I would want not her first thing to be, well, you need to get a divorce.
Right.
Like, but to somehow be on the side of the marriage.
Right.
Like, really try to look at, well, what was going on before that, and what, you know, what's both sides of it, and what, you know what I mean? So that the people that come to your wedding that day are there to help hold you accountable to each other.
Right.
Okay.
So that your marriage can survive.
Right.
Because decades of a marriage, for most people, it can be difficult. I mean, I'm sure you know what the odds are.
Oh yeah. Oh, we're aware. We are aware. We saw some YouTube thing. We were watching a YouTube thing, and they were talking about, you know, marriage, and you know, we've seen a lot of things together where it makes marriage not look the best.
Because
because the odds are very high that, you know, you'll get divorced, or you'll hate each other, or the sex will run out in your marriage, or all these bad things can happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's just like, I feel like getting married is taking a step in the direction of like believing in love and believing that it can be beautiful and like building a life together. Because with my sister, when she met her husband, she didn't believe in marriage, and then they got married, and she was like, yeah, I just knew, and they're doing great, and she's actually pregnant now, which is so exciting.
That's
great. And I mean, it's
Congratulations.
still early on. Thank you. It's still early on, but I don't know, I believe, like, I feel like his parents are still so in love.
Well, that's
know?
great.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
how
Both of
long-
our parents,
Are
both
still
of our set of
together.
parents are
Yeah.
still together,
Well,
so
that's
that
great.
helps.
That
Yeah.
actually, I think, probably bodes pretty well for you guys.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
because
what-
that's the role modeling that you've seen. Did they offer you guys advice about?
I guess
Getting
we
married?
haven't asked them.
No.
Yeah, not much.
Yeah. I mean, because my mom and dad, they literally got married they got engaged after 4 months.
Okay, so I'm just saying, all of our generation, I'm sure I'm not that far off from your parents' age, and I just feel like that's what we did.
Yeah.
I'm just hearing
It's just like,
I'm hearing
it's crazy.
my parents' generation is even worse. They're like knew each other 3 weeks, and
Yeah,
then
and
they
they're
got
like, oh,
married.
there we go.
You know,
exactly.
There is something too, though. You either make the commitment or you don't.
Yep.
And there is something about that generation that in a lot of ways made the commitment and is just staying. Now, I'm not sure, like when I think about my parents, I'm not sure that it's been the happiest relationship, but like, who am I to judge? That's another thing. Like, you don't know what
happens behind closed
you
doors.
don't, and you don't know what the dance is that two people are doing, or what they need from each other. It's a very unique thing. It's a special thing, like between the two of you, that no one else can judge or really know about, which is, again, just back to the communication, that I just wish that for you guys. I just really hope that you're willing to be vulnerable and communicate, and I think that's how you get in it for the long haul, although I just feel like I have no credibility because I haven't been on a date in like a million years.
Oh my gosh, no. Well, that's the
That
thing.
seems wise. And
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the thing. But I mean, there are times, like, we don't fight that often, but when we do, it doesn't even feel like fighting because we just talk everything out, which is great.
That's really good.
Yeah, and there will be times where, like, I'll be upset about something, and I'm afraid to get emotional about it, so I'll just, like, hold it inside and won't say anything, and then he'll be like, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? And then it'll finally come out, we'll talk about it, and it'll be fine. And in the end, it's like, why didn't I just say something?
Right.
But it all just, I feel like you're right, it just comes down to that, like, communication thing. It's like, it's just better to just talk about it.
So, are you going for the big wedding? The
Not
250
really.
people?
Not really. No,
Mm-hmm.
no. We're thinking like 70 people.
I think that's a good size.
Yeah.
Are you guys writing your vows?
We talked
talked
about
about
it. Yeah.
I'm up for anything. I'm down to write my own.
Right, because that's the thing is I feel like writing your own vows is so romantic, but at the same time, it's like there's all this pressure. I'm like, I need to say everything about love and our relationship in this one thing in this moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is really special, and I feel like we're both writers too, so we could possibly be good at it. But I just kind of want as little stress as possible.
Yeah, that's nice. Too.
So I don't. What do you think about that?
Oh, I don't know. I think expressing yourself is a good challenge for yourself, like to really get, because I was just going to say to you, like, why are you getting married?
Right.
Why are you getting married?
Right. Well, because he's the best person that I met ever in life. Like I don't know. I just feel like he'll do anything for me. Like he's proven to me so many times that he will just do anything and be there for no matter what and be so supportive. And I've told him things that I thought that he might hate me for, and he hasn't. And you know, it's like I feel like dating is so important because you take little things that you like from, you know, your past relationships. And it's like he's almost like this form of like everything that I've liked in my past relationships. It's just like in this human being. So
and how about you?
I knew pretty quickly that if there was one person that I would ever meet that I wanted to be like take on the world with, you know, stand next to and just meet us versus the world, that it was going to be her.
You
And
guys.
so
That's your vows right there. I'm gonna cry. There's
Yeah.
your vows. You don't even have to write them. You just
True.
read them.
That's just
And
true.
you're married and you saved $80,000.
Right, great, amazing, we're married. Thanks,
Hey,
Teri.
you got married in the Scooby-Doo van.
Man, it's awesome.
That would be
Well,
so.
that's the
God,
thing
I
is-
wish I were ordained.
Oh,
How
that'd be
cool
awesome.
would that be?
Well, I was
It's
looking
free,
it up. It's
apparently.
free. It's free online.
To go do it.
To
I
get
know.
ordained,
I'm gonna need to get ordained so the next time this
And we'll
happens,
just come back
Exactly.
here.
I can just pull it off right
Yeah.
there. Wow, that was actually beautiful
Thank you.
between the two of you. No,
Yeah.
and you know, like I'm not a cynic at all, but I am older, and obviously, and it's been a long time since I've really seen that, and I'm really grateful for you like sharing that in front of me. And I feel like people, God, what a weird world we live in
It's
right now.
really strange.
And I think people need to have some hope that there are two people that are looking into each other's eyes and going, you're the best person for me, and you're the best person for me, and it's us against the world. And you give people hope. So thank you. That's
Thank
like,
you.
I did not expect to meet two people madly in love who could express it so well. With me
Good. That
today.
makes us happy.
And
'cause, yeah.
so
yeah.
thank you
of
very
course.
much.
Sure.
Wow, and congratulations.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much.
I have to get ordained,
Yes,
everybody.
please do.
That's the next thing for me
Please
to
do.
do.
Well, it's funny because when we were
Drive
walking,
across the country, ordained, marrying people in my van.
Oh my gosh! Well, because when we were walking in here, I'm like, I'm Daphne and he's Fred, and yeah, and you're just here to order.
Thank
Yes,
you.
awesome. Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much.
It was so good
It
to
was
talk
very
to
nice
you.
to meet you.
Nice
Yeah.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Good luck.
Great. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.